In this video, we're going to be using Shannon Soap's Woodland Frost and the iKon X3 Slant Razor. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And today we have one of our favorite brands. This is Shannon Soap's Woodland Frost. This comes to you for $12 for 4 ounces on our cost chart there. A good price of $3 an ounce. This soap is very woody to my nose. It's not the type of scent that I would normally gravitate towards, but I do appreciate it. However, it's not a scent I would wear an aftershave or cologne of. What I get primarily is cedar. However, we'll put the notes for you right there. There's other things in it. Primarily, to me, cedar. It comes off very woody. It reminds me of cutting down cedar trees or being around cedar trees. There is menthol, mint, vanilla, frankincense. But primarily for me, woody. Scent strength slightly under medium, I would call it. So lightly scented, but the far end of light towards medium. This is a tallow-based soap. We'll show you the ingredients right there. And these Shannon soaps, as far as lathering quality, it's hard to beat. In fact, it is my favorite soap to lather. It's just an awesome soap for the price you're paying. And honestly, it's an awesome soap for any price. I love it. By the way, I saw these were still on sale at Maggard. So if you want a cedar scented soap and you like woody scents, you might try this one. The razor for today is the iKon X3 Slant razor. And if you're unfamiliar with slants, they use the guillotine sort of concept. So instead of cutting like this, sort of an angle to that cut to make it more efficient. As you can see, it's slanted and the blade is also torqued or bent. So there's a lot of torque on that blade. And I got this from iKon Razors for $35. So it's on sale right now to iKon Razors. Again, I'll link all the products below should you be interested. So iKon says this is the best torque slant razor on the market, and we shall try it today and see how it goes. It's stainless steel handle with iKon's logo and aluminum head, and inside is an Astra SP blade because that's what iKon sent with the razor. So we tend to use the blade that comes with the razor if they send it with one. So we shall do that today. Let's go ahead and wet the face. We have our standard 24 hours of growth, maybe slightly under. And let's get going. We have our Captain's Choice bowl, and this is the standard weight version. Today's brush is the Grey Dog Bamboo. He turned from bamboo. It was a gift from Grey Dog. Thank you very much, Grey Dog. And look at that lather. There's something about Shannon's and me. We just go together like Ashford and Simpson, Peaches and Herb, Captain and Tennille. I'm showing my age there. Some of you will get those references. If you're younger, maybe not. But it just, I don't know. It's, for me, easier to get a great lather with Shannon's than any other brand, including, you know, brands that get far more accolades. Look at the sheen on that. I don't know what it is about Shannon's. It lends itself to a very creamy lather easily. And this is the base formula. Not, you know, this is not a special 900 skin food ingredient soap. It's just a very good quality soap. But what I like most about Shannon's is the lather that I'm able to get with it repeatedly and the way it holds water. And if it holds water, that's where that sheen comes from. And it's very nice. In fact, I always have my lathering tutorials below, and one of them is with a Shannon soap. So check that tutorial out below if you want to see how I actually make the lather and try that yourself. I know it's been of help to a lot of people, and I'm very happy about that. Man, look at that. Shannon's, Sterling, and many other soaps that are budget friendly. There is no compromising on the quality of that lather. I promise you, this lather in terms of slickness will be as slick as any soap out there. I don't care what it is. And I don't care at what cost. Now, I know a lot of people, they see me talking about Shannon's a lot and they're like, he'll never say anything negative about Shannon's. Not true. I have not liked Shannon since in the past, and I've said so. In fact, Shannon told me one time that I said one of her soaps smelled like an ashtray. I don't remember doing that, but I did. But one thing I will say is, I noticed on this aftershave, I was looking at it, and look how far down. I've only used this a couple times and not much. So the one thing I would say about Shannon's is, let's get that aftershave up on the neck there, or close to the neck like Sterling does at Shannon's. Come on. So if you're looking for me to air some feedback that might be not be entirely possible about Shannon's, there it is. Get that aftershave level up a little bit, because I've only used this twice. So Shannon's, come on. Anyway, there we have it. Let's get going with the X3. I am feeling the menthol right away. Now, I did not smell it in the scent, but I'm feeling it. That feels nice and smooth. So far, the X3. And look how that lather, see, it's just hanging there. Let's go ahead and get that off so it doesn't fall on the floor. There is some good hydration in that lather, and it is very slick, and that's what I want. You may not want quite as much hydration as I want, but I want as much as I can get without the lather breaking down. I found that that is the slickest way in lathering a soap, is to get the peak amount of hydration in it. If there's not enough hydration in it, it won't be as slick. It'll still be slick, and you'll still be able to shave well with it. Because believe me, I shaved well for many years with what many would consider a pasty lather, not having enough hydration. But if you do get good hydration in it, it'll be slicker, and the residual slickness, I think, left behind is better also. That's just my personal opinion. But I'll tell you right now, the lather from Shannon's is just so easy for me to work with. That's why I said it's like me and Shannon's, we just work well together. And you might find that you have a soap that the way you lather it just works great for you. It sort of hits the spot. And if you do have that brand, let me know below. What's your brand that's really, I'm trying to get that little piece of skin right there so it won't annoy me throughout the shave. But tell me, what's your brand that when you lather it, it just, everything just goes right every single time? For me, it is Shannon's and Sterling are the two brands in terms of lathering that are the easiest to get a really dense, hydrated lather with. Other brands, I'm able to lather really well and great, but there's something about these. The creaminess in Shannon's comes quicker than the others, and Sterling. I don't know why it is. Sometimes I think it's because maybe they're not as tempted as some others to try to jam 900, oil of Olay cosmetic skin food ingredients in the soap. And I think, my personal opinion, I know others might disagree, that you can push that. And I actually talked to a number of artisans off the record, and they did agree, excuse me, man, when I'm using Shannon's, I'm even more tongue twisted. They agreed that you can push the skin foods or the ratios to such a degree that it affects the latherability of soap. They just won't lather as easily. And so I won't name the artisans I spoke to, but I spoke to about 5 different ones that make very different kinds of soaps of differing. I just didn't go to my favorites, in other words. And I was asking, when you make soaps, what are your considerations? Can you do too much in the way of butters and oils and skin foods? And they were, oh, absolutely. And, there's always a delicate balance there between latherability and, skin food properties and so on and so forth. As I always say, I like to address the post-shave in the post-shave products for me. And I do what works well for me. But during the shave, in terms of the soap, what I'm looking for out of the soap is to provide great slickness. I want it to be fun to lather and to lather well. And Shannon's for me is it's a lot of fun to lather. There is a tremendous amount of hydration in this lather, I promise you. And it's very slick. And that's what I'm always looking for. Now, some people don't want quite as much hydration in the lather. And again, that's okay, personal preference. So there is a good amount of menthol in here. I'm feeling it more on pass 2. I don't really smell it in the soap scent. So, there's that. Now, this scent is, it's an interesting, again, very, very woody to me. And it's not my typical type of scent, but I enjoy it for what it is. It does sort of remind me of maybe being out among evergreen trees or cedar trees, in the cold. Or like I said before, I've had to cut cedar trees down before, and this is what it smells like. And so I kind of like that. Now, is this one that is a love scent for me? No, I don't love it. But I will say, if cedar is appealing to you and you like cedar in your soaps, you might like this one. I think when I looked at Maggard, I think I got this one from Maggard Razors, by the way, because it's one I really didn't see anywhere else. And so I grabbed it. I think at the time of this recording, Maggard had about 8 of these left. And so I don't think this is, I don't necessarily think this is one of the Shannon soaps that's in regular rotation. So if you want it, I would grab it from Maggard's. Man, that's slick. Woo-wee. Razor just gliding effortlessly. So far, the X3 is feeling quite good. It doesn't feel menacing to me in any way. A little bit of blade feel, not a ton, but it feels like it's shaving effectively still. And so that's always good. Feels like it's doing a good job. The handle is not too long, so it doesn't feel imbalanced. Sometimes when you put an aluminum head on a stainless handle, it can sort of feel handle heavy. I don't really detect that in this razor. It just feels like a easygoing slant razor. I do advise people that when I talk about blade feel and something not feeling menacing, I think I know I prefer more efficiency and blade feel. And so whereas I might say this is, you know, far end of mild to entry level of medium, you might think it's mid-level of medium and up, because I do like efficiency and blade feel. So always keep that in mind. I do try to caveat that, because I realize that someone who's new might pick up this razor and find it to be a little more efficient or blade feely than I do. So just keep in mind that, you know, I use lots of different sorts of razors and open blades and so on and so forth. And this does not feel menacing at all to me. However, I can't guarantee it'll be the same way for you. And look at that. Just wonderful, wonderful lather today from Shannon's. And it is, there's a good amount of menthol in here. Like I said, I'm definitely feeling the cooling, which I personally appreciate. It definitely reminds me of, you know, doing something outdoors around cedar. It's a pleasant scent, but again, this is not a scent that I would wear aftershave or EDT or so. I don't want to go around smelling like cedar, because, you know, this much cedar anyway. Because cedar is what you often think of. Don't they put like cedar in like maybe hamster houses, you know, or pets use cedar as bedding? So it might, you know, you don't want to smell like that necessarily, but for using it for a shave, perfectly nice and enjoyable. But again, this one would not be a love. And I knew when I got this one, it might be a stretch for me, and it really, it is. And it's funny because when Shannon's watched the unboxing, and that's been a few weeks ago, they were like, oh, he's going to hate that one. Oh, I don't hate it. But it is definitely not one that I would wear, I'd want to hang around on me. But it's not a funky scent. It's just, it's quite woody, and it will definitely give you that outdoors sort of vibe. Terrific quality, as is really customary with Shannon soaps. And I always say with Shannon soaps, Shannon, never get rid of this I'm calling it the classic base. Because this is such an easy soap to work with, that especially right now, I think things are really on the upswing, and we're bringing new folks. We're bringing many new folks to this style of shaving every single day. And the one thing we don't want to do is make the initial learning curve any more difficult than it is, because there are lots of things to learn. It's not rocket science. Anybody can do it. And if you're new, you can do it too. Just give it time. You'll come around. But the one thing we don't want to do is have a bunch of soaps out there that are difficult to lather. So new people come in and they're struggling, and they can't have a good or fun experience because they're having so much trouble with the lather, because it has to be dialed in and blah, 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 blah. And that sort of stuff is great for the shave geeks among us, myself included. But really the name of the game is bringing in new people all the time and sort of spreading the love. And, you know, when you're catering things only for the shaving hobbyist, it leaves those brand new folks behind if things are difficult or finicky to work with. And while I might like it, they might not. It might turn them off. And they'll say, I'm going back to the foam and, you know, cart razors or what have you. I'm not going to waste my time with this. And so having these bases that are very easy to work with, that are affordable, so they don't feel like they're spending an arm and a leg out of the gate, and that produce repeatable results. Repeatable being the key. They can produce a great lather every single time with a little bit of practice versus having to constantly work to dial it in and bring chemistry equipment into the bathroom to make a lather. That's not the way for new folks, in my opinion. That's not the way to win new folks over. We win new folks over by making this appealing and making it something that everyone can do. And that's sort of one of the reasons I love this hobby the most is everyone can do it. And that's what makes it really widely appealing. But the moment we make it too difficult for them, that's counterproductive in my view. And I think in some ways, some of the soaps are reaching that point with trying to jam so many skin foods in them that the lathering now becomes a chore where you really have to work at it. And that's not going to be appealing to a lot of new folks, in my opinion. And again, this is just my opinion. I'll tell you what, though, this one today is fantastic. And I've enjoyed the X3 on the first use as well. I can't remember whether I used this razor in the past. I've used so many things that sometimes I just forget. And I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes somebody will ask me if I use something and I'll say I don't remember using it, and then I'll go back and search maybe my old Lather channel, and there it is, and I don't remember it at all. That's how you know you've used a lot of stuff. All right. Excellent shave today. Let me rinse, then we'll come back into the post. Stay tuned. All right, we are back and off cam. We did a warm water rinse to remove the soap. We followed that with the alum, no stinging, so that was a super smooth shave today. Followed that with a cold water rinse, and then we toweled off with our Lancaster towel prior to, there we are, applying the Thayer's Witch Hazel. This is cucumber magic because it's made by witches. Excellent shave today. The first run with the X3 was quite good with the Astro Blade, smooth. It didn't feel too menacing. It did a great job, nice smooth shave. I enjoyed the first run with the X3, 35 bucks, not bad at all. The Shannon's always treats me right. It may not be the easiest soap to lather in all of shaving. In other words, you'll have soap that will produce volume and puffiness easier, but this to me is maybe the easiest soap to create a great hydrated lather with, or at least it is for me. I loved it. The scent, it's not a huge winner for me. I enjoyed it. Probably not a scent that I'll keep around, but if you like cedar, it might be a winner for you. We used our Gray Dog brush, turned from bamboo. Thank you, Gray Dog. And we're going to finish it off today with, this is the razor company, Inspirazone de Lusso, made by Shannon's. And of course, again, we show you, come on, Shannon's, bring that level up a little bit. Let's put this on. This is an aquatic scent. It doesn't smell anything like the soap, because again, I don't want to go around smelling like wood all day. Just me. I want to thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. This was a very enjoyable shave, and I hope you have great enjoyable shaves in your shaves today. Thank you so much. Till next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.